What is up, guys? Snaggle J back with another NHL 21 franchise video. If you missed any of the previous videos, make sure you click the card in the top right corner of the screen. Get caught up so you know where we're at. Last episode, we went through the re-sign phase. Now we're into the free agency phase in our first offseason, and we are trying to free up some money. And as you can see, we are about to free up a good chunk of it as we are going to trade Anders Lee and his $7 million per season for the next 6 years to the Winnipeg Jets in return for a second rounder next year, a pick that we don't currently possess, by the way. We do not have a second rounder in next year's draft. And backup goalie Laurence Brossoit. Huge help for us. Again, Brossoit gives us a bona fide backup goalie. And he's pretty affordable as well. $1.5 million. He's only 27. Yes, he's only got 1 year left, but that's okay. And then obviously the second rounder really helps. That is a big thing for us as well because, again, we didn't have a second rounder. And the other big part about that is it frees up some cap space. It gets us up to almost $13 million of cap space available, which means now hopefully we can get Barzal and Pulock under contract. Barzal especially. Pulock I'm less worried about, but now that we're in free agency, I am a little worried because anything can happen in free agency. You look at some of these guys, lots of great players. You get Anthony Mantha out there, looking for almost $10 million a season. Max Domi, they should be RFAs, I believe, right? Yeah, lots of big RFAs out there. But Pulock and Barzal are the two that we are really concerned about. So we're gonna try. I really don't want to go to 7 years, although that takes him until he's 30. So we'll see if he will take 8 years and or 7 years at $8 million. And then with Pulock, we'll only be able to go to let's go to 3 years and then 4.75. I don't think he's even going to take that, but we'll see. Lots of good players out there. Unfortunately, the biggest problem we have, we can't afford any of them. Nick Leddy, the Star is offering us 2 picks for Nick. How old is Nick Leddy? I mean, Nick Leddy's our biggest, most important defenseman at this point. Probably not a guy that we're looking at moving. He's only 29. We'll probably hang on to him at that price. I am worried that someone comes out of the woodwork and offers Barzal just a ridiculously huge deal. All right, so Pulock accepts. That could be problematic. Ooh, baby. The Devils offer us a 3rd and 4th rounder for a 3rd rounder. So basically, we're changing thirds. They're offering us a 4th rounder to take Johnny Boychuk's $6 million. How do we not accept this deal? I mean, I like Boychuk, but at 36 years old, we could probably do better with that $6 million. That's gonna be sad, but that $6 million is gonna be super helpful. Obviously, we've got the double hickey problem still. We'll work to fix that. I don't remember what we're gonna do, but we will fix it. So we are gonna need another defenseman, right? Well, Schmaltz, we could get some run out of Schmaltz. We got Bodie Wild too. So if there's maybe we'll try to find a cheap veteran out there in free agency. Barzal still an RFA who's in the system. Main roster, we've got Nelson, Beauvillier, Pajot, Cizikas. So we're pretty good at center. Bailey, Komarov, Dalcol, Andrew Ladd. We did not buy out Andrew Ladd. Possibly a giant mistake on our part. But it was one of those things where when I got looking at it and I started thinking about, listen, is it worth keeping Ladd at the 5.5 million or eating the 2.75 of it and getting rid of him? You might as well keep him around. He's a veteran. He's good leadership. Could be a captain for sure. Maybe a guy that if we're really struggling, we try to dump him. We definitely need a right winger. Right winger is going to have to be a priority once we get this Barzal deal done. Still only one team interested for Barzal. That is good. Let's go take a look at right wingers. I'd like to get this Barzal deal done first, but he's an RFA, isn't he? Oh. Nitschkin is a 25-year-old full-on 25-year-old full-on free agent. That could be helpful. Especially at that age. Josh Anderson is a UFA as well. And they're both relatively inexpensive. I mean, Nitschkin is $2.25 million. Got Corey Perry down there as a 35-year-old. L'Esperance. Bo Bennett. Rocking down there because we could use someone on the upper line, right? I feel like Nitschkin is probably the guy that we want. See if we can get him for like 2 point. Let's see if we can get him for 2 even. And see. And then let's go looking at defensemen. Now, again, we don't need like a super high pricey defenseman. We just need somebody like a veteran guy. Somebody middle of the road. Jay Bouwmeester, perhaps. Could be a good fit. He's 36. Again, so we're basically we got rid of Boychuk, who is in his upper 30s making $6 million, and we're going to be able to replace him for a guy who is going to cost a third of the price, which is going to be absolutely fantastic for us. Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Actually, I kind of like Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Defensive defenseman. Goal set assists, -7, 14:52 ice time. Does whatever it'll take to win. I gotta like that. Hayden Fleury, he's got to be an RFA though. Yeah. You got McQuaid, who's 33. Dmitry Kulikov is 29, but we also don't have a purple lock on him either. I think with losing Boychuk, are these guys RFAs? Oh, they're UFAs. Dang. Got a guy like Cody Ceci, but again, that's not locked in, so it could be a lot worse. Could go somebody like Jack Johnson. Not super scouted. Super cheap. Radko, DeMello, Engeland. Radko again. You love to see it. Let's see. I like the idea of Van Riemsdyk. 28, defensive guy. We never did look to see what was out there for goalies either. We can't afford any of them, but Holtby, Markstrom, Murray, Crawford, Khudobin, Lundqvist, Talbot, Mike Smith. I think we're going to probably roll with Varlamov and who did we just trade for? Brossois for now. All right, so we got Barzal back. So that's good. That gives us our big, super offensive guy back. That makes me happy. Trevor Van Riemsdyk going elsewhere. But Nichushkin in. That's good. So that gives us another. So we go look at our. Let's look at our contracts real quick. So we still have about 5.75 left in cap space. So centers, we got Barzal, Nelson, Beauvillier, Pajot, Cizikas. And then we've got Byfield, who we're going to give a good run, but probably not going to use him. Depends what his ratings come out as. Bailey, Komarov, Dalcol, Ladd, Eberle, Nichushkin, Clutterbuck, Ho-Sang. We got Leddy, Pulock, Dobson. Can we move him? No, we can't right now, eh? Pellick. I don't have anybody in the system. Well, we do. We have Schmaltz, Bodie Wild. So we could just run Schmaltz or Bodie Wild, to be honest, if we wanted to. We really don't need to get anybody else. We could go young guy because he's a two-way. I think Wild is offensive, two-way. And if we look at what we got here, we've got, it doesn't show here. Hurts my feelings. Pulock is a two-way. So Leddy's a two-way, Pulock's a two-way, Dobson's a two-way, Hickey is a two-way, and Pellick is a defensive defenseman. So we really don't have an offensive threat, right? Maybe we could look to get an offensive threat. And left winger, maybe? Because we're probably going to roll, we're going to roll Barzal, Bailey, and Eberle on the first line. Nelson. And then we don't really have a second line left winger. Could run Nichushkin there. And then we got Clutterbuck and Ho-Sang. Ho-Sang probably going to run the third line. Clutterbuck on the fourth line. Dalcol on the third line. Ladd on the fourth line. Beauvillier is probably going to center the third line. The more I look at this, the more I start thinking that we could maybe make a big trade with Jean-Gabriel Pajot and kind of make something out of it. I guess a lot of that will come down to how Byfield does in training camp. If Byfield comes to training camp and puts on a show and we're going to keep him, we could look at moving Jean-Gabriel Pajot and that $5 million, $30 million total deal and seeing if maybe we can get a winger out of it. That might not be the worst thing that we could do, to be 100% honest. So we've got $5.7 million right now. So there's some players out here. Nemesnikov could be a good guy to pick up, but again, he's more of a. What were we saying? We don't really have a second line left winger, right? Because we have Ladd, Bailey. Yeah, we could use a second line left winger. Playmaker would be nice. Right winger, there's some options there. A little pricier options, but options nonetheless. And we could probably still pick up a couple of guys here. There are still guys that are in our price range. That we might be able to pick up. Again, I don't really think we need a defenseman. I feel like what we're going to run into is if we sign a defenseman, we're going to end up in a situation where we've got 5 now and then we've got 2 guys ready. I'd hate to sign a defenseman and then them end up being our healthy scratch guy. That seems like kind of a waste. We've got Sekera, but he's 34. He does give us that offensive defenseman kind of guy, right? Got really good puck skills, really good shooting. Could be kind of our power play quarterback. Although, again, we've got Letty, and we're going to get a lot of run out of Noah Dobson as well. But I do like the idea of signing someone. We got somebody like Dylan DeMello, who I like. He's got a pretty good shot also. Got Michael Delzato. Michael Delzato still kicking. Out here, former first rounder Michael Delzato. 3 out of 4 on the old scouting projection for 79 overall. Yeah, maybe we'll, let's see. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But that does leave us some money to sign somebody like Nemetsnikov. We're just signing Russians all over the place here now. Nemetsnikov. But again, we've taken what was a really bad cap situation and we've kind of made it a bit more enjoyable. So Delzato's there, Nemesnikov is there, so that's perfect. I think that's probably going to do it for us. I think I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at. Again, we're going to run into some problems because, we've got a lot of high salary guys. We've only got Beauvillier, who's an RFA. Cizikas is coming off the books. So he's a guy we could look at trading. Dalcole's an RFA. Hosang is an RFA. So, we're going to have some tough options. And then in a couple of years, we've got a lot of money coming off the books, which will be nice. For sure. We've got some really high, pricey talent. So, we're kind of set, I think, here for a couple of years with this team. So we're going to roll it up for now. If I do make any more off-seasonal acquisitions, we'll cover them in the preseason recap, which will be our next video. Kind of our starting 2020-2021 season video. Show you guys kind of where we're at. So if you like the video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace.